Hello everyone, this is Phil Style here from 92 Squadron. This video is going to be hopefully a tutorial showing how to taxi, get airborne, do a circuit and land in Cliffs of Dover at night. So here I am, I've spawned in at night in a Blenheim. Basically all you can see is pitch black. What I'm going to do is first is just turn the cockpit lights on. There we go, so at least you can see I am in an aeroplane now. And over to my left there you can see a string of red lights which mark the runway here at Red Hill, and there's also a white light over there which is actually placed next to the control tower, just to mark any objects which are essentially in the middle of the field. First thing I'm going to do is just take a look at the map and check out the airfield layout at Red Hill. The aerodrome lights run alongside the main runway, along the western edge of this main runway. So those lights run in a south to north or north to south direction. So I need to find out where I am on this airfield relative to those lights. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my course setter for this purpose, and I'm just going to adjust my course setter. And the course setter now shows me that I am pointing about 42 degrees. So I'm basically pointing slightly east of north, and the runway lights appear to extend in that direction for the most part. So that is the north to my 11 o'clock, and behind me in the left is the south. Now there's no wind on this map. It's very difficult dealing with wind at night when you can't see. So I'm going to get airborne without wind. I'm going to use the southern end of this runway to get airborne. So I'm just going to turn my fuel on, turn the various things on that I need to have on, put my chocks in. I'm going to start engine 1 on the left there, start engine 2 on the right. Okay, I've got both engines selected. Right, now before I taxi over to the runway threshold, I'm just going to calibrate the altimeter. I'm going to set it for 0 at this airfield. And now chocks out. I'm going to start taxiing over to the southern end. Now the reason I'm using the southern end of this airfield is because in the Blenheim the best observation, or the pilot side, is the left side of the aircraft. And if you try to taxi or take off with those lights on the right side, they become obscured by those bars there. You can't see the lights and you end up crashing into them, which I've done. So I'm going to keep the lights on my left side. You can already see the ones on my right as I'm taxiing down to the southern end of the airfield. It's very difficult to maintain sight of them. What you can do is switch to the bombardiers position for taxiing. That's also quite useful. So you can taxi along in the bombardiers position, and this probably works as well with some of the German bombers. In a fighter this is almost impossible. There's just not enough forward visibility in the fighters to get any real idea of where the runway is. Okay, you can see the last of the lights approaching now at my 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. That's basically the perimeter road around the edge of this field. So I'm going to now start turning to the right, and I'm going to line up on the runway. Now you can see all the lights swinging into view. Quite a pretty sight actually. And let's just line up a little bit more. Okay, that'll do about there. Chocks in now. I'm just going to get this aeroplane lined up a bit better. Probably needs to just move forward a bit so the tail wheel will straighten out. Okay, brakes on. Slightly to the right. Okay, chocks in. And now I'm just going to put the throttle back on to stop it from shaking around. Okay, now I'm going to switch back to the pilot seat. That's the rear gunner, so that's the pilot there. Okay, now I'm going to calibrate my compass, my course setter one more time. I want the course setter to be about correct. That tells me I'm currently pointing 6 degrees. So now I can set the gyro. And I can set my directional gyro to 6 degrees. Come on, down we go, down we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to know my heading when I'm airborne. I'm going to fly out north on 0. I'm going to turn left onto 270, then turn left onto 180, and then turn left onto 090, and then turn left back onto the runway. I'll mainly be using the runway itself as a visual aid, but we will need to use the compass probably. Okay, so boost cutout on. I'm going to lower some flap. About 3 seconds, 2.5 seconds of flap. Boost cutout's on. I'm now going to trim back. I'm going to trim back about 8 times on the elevator. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I want nose up trim so that the aircraft lifts off the ground basically by itself. Okay, throttling forward just a little bit now to 50%. And gently throttling forward the rest of the way through 100%. And because the boost cutout's on, I can throttle all the way forward to 110%. Okay, so we're settling into the takeoff roll now. Just keeping those lights in the little triangle off to the left there. I think the nose wheel's about to drop. Yep, there goes the nose wheel. I'm just applying a bit more back stick pressure, and now I'm trimming back, waiting for the wheels to come off the ground, and I'm back on the trim. Now I'm just trimming up. I'm going to gear up, get the gear up nice and quickly, and I'm trimming back. And checking that my aircraft is stable. Airspeed is 110. I'm just going to reduce my climb rate a fraction. Still need to get that nose up. And now I'm on instruments. Okay, airspeed's now coming up. Going to raise the flaps. Reduce my throttle. Don't want to climb too much here. Okay, 500 feet. I'm going to keep climbing to about 1,000 feet. Airspeed is 120. I'm just going to relax the climb now. Let the airspeed pick up. Okay, coming through 1,000 feet now, I'm going to start a turn to the left. So just a very gentle amount of left wing down. And I'm now going to level off the climb. And now I'm maintaining my view on the directional gyro. Okay, that's basically level flight now. Turning left. I'm in a slight climb and I'm turning too quickly. Just relaxing the climb, relaxing the turn, 300 degrees. Looking for the runway. There's the runway in the distance over there, so that's excellent. Okay, 270 now. I'm rolling out. I've actually got the moon at 11 o'clock. I can just see it. And now I've got much too high on, nearly 2,000 feet now. So I'm going to level off and throttle back. And I'm going to let the aircraft trim itself. Well, I'm going to trim it out. Okay, now we're going to make another left turn onto 180. 255 current heading. There's the airfield runway over there. I'm going to turn on to 180. I'm too high and I'm probably too fast for the circuit, so I'm going to reduce throttle and I'm going to let the aircraft descend down to hopefully about 1,000 feet. Okay, I've got the runway lights now at 10 o'clock. Heading is 200. I'm going to just turn left a fraction more, and now I'm rolling out on a heading of about 180. That's good enough for me. Okay, airspeed is very quick, so throttling back up even more now. 27% throttle, descending down through 1,500 feet. That's pretty reasonable. Okay, we're just going to maintain our heading now of 180. I need to come right. There's the airfield off the left wingtip. Altitude 1,500 feet. I'm pretty happy with that. Although I wouldn't mind being at 1,000 feet, but we'll do a high circuit. Okay, I'm climbing. Just trimming the nose down. Trimmed out. Heading is 160. Got to bring that to the right. I'm going to use the rudder for that. And airspeed's still dropping. Okay, where's the runway now? Obscured behind my left wing. And I need to turn right because I've come left quite some way onto 156. Now I'm at 1,000 feet. I can now bring that nose back up. And I'm going to start my left turn onto 090. Passing through... Oh, climbing a bit there. Passing through 140. Get that nose level, yeah, back up to 1,500 feet. So I'm just going to throttle down, maintain a left-hand climb. And there's my runway. And because I got so close in, I've actually overshot the runway. So now I'm going to have to make a full right turn and line up with that runway again. So just dropping the nose now, climbing somewhat there. This is quite erratic behaviour, but flying on instruments in cliffs of Dover is not easy. Okay, coming through 120. descending slightly, airspeed 160. Just going to relax this turn, it's fairly steep. 190 now I'm heading south. I'm going to keep bringing the aeroplane around. Okay, climbing again. Looking for the runway. I just saw it for a second there. Just going to turn my head again. Okay, I need to sharpen this turn. Okay, I'm climbing too much now. Descent is needed. Okay, now we are lining up on the runway. There's the runway at 2 o'clock. I'm now going to drop some flap. 160, that's okay for an approach. And I'm also dropping the gear. And I just need to keep my airspeed alive. Not too much though. And I'm using the rudder to bring us around onto that threshold. Okay, altitude is 1,400 feet, so I'm way too high. But it's okay, I can drop the nose, gain some airspeed, and settle into the descent. Okay, runway lights now, just to the right of the nose. It's a single line of runway lights, and I need those on the left. I've got a very high angle of approach here, so I'm just going to settle that throttle down. In fact, I've zeroed the throttle. I'm using the right rudder to get my descent. 700 feet, 500 feet. I'm way too high, but I'm going to continue anyway. Okay, now we're approaching. I'm side slipping off a lot of that height. 300 feet now, and I'm approaching at a very bad angle. This is a shocking angle, in fact. But I'm going to continue because I'm foolhardy. Okay, approaching quickly now. There's the runway lights. Just visually now, zeroing the throttle, trimming back, and wheels are down, trimming back, holding the trim back, and there we have it. Now I'm just going to let this thing settle gently into its slowdown. I'm trimming back big time on the stick. Got quite a lot of speed still, bit of right rudder. And I'm just tapping the brakes now to bring the aircraft to a halt. And now I'm basically at a halt. I'm going to just veer away from the lights a bit and bring the aircraft to a halt here. Course pitch, chocks in, and there we are, safe on the ground. So I hope that was helpful. I welcome people giving this a shot. It's really entertaining. It's bloody hard work. In the future we may be running nighttime missions on the Storm of War server, so if people are keen, I think we should give it a shot. As usual everyone, good luck and happy hunting.